What's happening, ladies and gentlemen, and to all of my Lassie out there, I'm Cheeto2500, and let me tell you, this is no ordinary video. This video just happens to be what I decide to do will be a complete history of my clan called Lassie. Now, what I'm about to take you is a everlasting journey of what we did back then, all the way to October 21st, 2010. It's about time that I reveal this in honor of the anniversary 2 weeks from now. And let me see. Yep, it is that date already. So, allow me to take you to a time where we, as a Lassie, we started off with just nothing. No YouTube, no website, no members, no nothing. That's where we literally started off, though. And keep in mind that I have kept the same gamer tag for the entire duration of the time. And of course, this was my very first clan that I have led over the years. So yeah, a big accomplishment to me though. So give me a moment so that way I can time travel you forward so that way I can set it up and the works. Give me 1 second, please. We're back, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, we're back at OG Reach. And the reason why we're here, as I said, I'm about to take you into a complete history of Lassie. But before I do that, though, let's check where I last left off before I stop playing altogether. So here I am, with the max rank of inheritor, and yes, I did became the ultimate clan leader, which is about 5 years ago. Yeah, I have a lot of time, since I was in school and stuff. And let's look at my early service record. Yep, I won a lot of games back then. And of course, though, I was pretty fucking good back then. I really was. Okay, yeah, I got over 40,000 kills over my desk. But anyway, that's not why we're here. Let's go to the file browser, and that is, where we looked at. Now, keep in mind that I don't take a lot of screenshots per se, and yeah, and this is just some of the screenshots that I didn't save, and yeah, there were some, that I found awesome. Yeah, basically, this is some of the stuff that I have been, and then some of them are pretty negative, blah, 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 yeah. Some of my city places, this and that, blah, 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 blah. But this is not the place to tell the complete history from. So I'm just gonna, yeah, this is just like blah, 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 this and that. This will be over soon though. This is like all the screenshots that I've taken over the years, but this is just not the complete history, like I said. Some of these you can find in my gallery, blah, blah, blah. That's a good one. I like that one. Some of our early histories, and as you can see, the dates here, I took these very early on. Blah, blah, blah. Yep. And yeah. Oh my goodness gracious. This is like memory lane over here. I swear to God. I love it. I really do. Oh yes, this is the graveyard that I was going. Yeah. Yep, 2016, this and that, the palace. Oh, somebody made that for me actually though, so that's really, really nice. Early throne room, the paradox. Yeah, some of the different sections of the city, But I'm building a new city though because I kind of lost that map and everything. Yeah, and basically though, I respect girl gamers as you can see. That's why I have that. Yeah, these are in alphabetical order by letters, so the dates won't exactly match up. Yeah, some of the places. Oh, and this is my artist Bounty Hunter, though. Bounty Hunter was like the artist of the clan. Basically, though, his screenshots is like really professional, real that and everything is like everything here. And yeah, that's about it. So now that we're establishing that, though, and I mute this for a reason, though, so that way I can show you the history. Now, as you can see, though, there's like over 300 screenshots per se. Not all of them telling the story of Lassie, but let's go back to the very, very beginning. Yeah, it's gonna... Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Okay, now we're here. So let's put on some music to do some history diving intelligence. So this is where I began on October 20th, 2010, actually. This is the day before I established Lassie. And that was my original uniform back then. My starting uniform, basically when I was like a recruit or something like that. But I purchased Halo Reach on the release date, so I had about a month to level up per se. And yeah. And after that, though, comes December. Yep. Yeah, basically, though, we were just rocking it back then. And yeah, basically, though, I got lucky on the right there. You know, actually, no, I'm on the left. Actually, yeah. Unfortunately, though, I got tucked rolled face shot. Ah, here's a nice one. Yep. Basically, the first evidence that I was with the Dark Gods was the author EM Killer 66. And yeah, he took this nice lovely picture of me back then, though. I was wearing Recon back then. As a matter of fact, though, let's go back to that, though. Was I? Yeah, that's why, though. I think I was wearing Recon back then. Okay, that makes so much more sense. Yeah. And basically, that this is like me and M Killer just duking it out or whatever. So basically, this is like our official first alliance, though. So me and my post-Lassie elites, because we were originally known as the post-Lassie back then, you know, we allied with the Dark Gods to, you know, become the first division of the elites. And I took that because that's really funny. So we were in a clan base called the UCA, though, and I kind of forgot what UCA stands for. Yeah. Let's go to the previous. Back to the bottom. So DM. Yep, the UCA. Okay, now I just remember. The UCA stands for the United Clan Alliance. It's basically like my take on New Liberty, though, which is like the collection of clans who are fighting for one single cause. And then, yep, basically some fun screenshots back then. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's kind of thing. Yep. And back then, though, this was my very first post-Lassie throne room. Yep, kind of cramped, kind of everything. And this is where I invested, you know, for screenshots there on April 16, 2011. Yep, this was my very first base of Lassie. Yes, I know it looks crappy, but hey, I was a high school kid, okay? I didn't know the Forge layout better, and yeah. And basically, the rest of them is just, you know, matchmaking stats, you know, doing things together. Oh, and this here on May 6, 2011, was we have our Dark Gods boot camp meeting, though. So basically, though, we were just, you know, doing drills and all that stuff, you know, firing at the thing. Let's see what else we have here. This is where we practice lining up, doing our drills. Yeah. So the Dark Gods clan was the first ever militarized clan that I met once before, though. More training. Some nice screenshots there. Oh, that's a lovely one out there. Yeah. Oh, yes. So So next week though, we won a contest, you know, depicting like who will be the best division and all that stuff. And my Postal actually won the Dark Gods contest, and therefore we took pictures and everything. So yeah, the clan, and this was in my old training course where there's literally like, no rocks, no barriers back then. Yeah, they took a lot of pictures back then. Yeah, and don't worry, I'm not gonna be rushing, lazy, and all that stuff. We're gonna take our time with this. Oh, doing plasma launcher drills. Yep, reloading at the same time. You know, those were really, really fun times. Okay, I don't know why they can't show. What's going on here? Alright, but anyways though, some of these don't work. Some of these didn't work though because of file problems. Me, Clashing of the Swords, more. Yeah, so we did like a lot of epic screenshots, you know. Basically I directed like what type of screenshots, you know, the crouching, the sword slashing, that sort of thing. And oh, this one looks like a fun one. Yeah. Woo! That looks epic. Yep, and we did all that on the same day. Those were really, really fun times, to be honest with you. Oh, yes. Now I see this. So, basically, though, we kind of did a little screenshot practice, though, and they were very impressed with my Sparta kick. And that is when I first earned the Field Marshal. So, yeah, I earned it early on, though. I mean, I had a lot of time, like I said. Yep, there was boot camp here. Yeah. Ooh. What's this? Oh, that's funny. Yep. Oh, that failed. Oh, yes. Now I see. I remember this one now. Yep. Okay. That's the DK. Oh, and this was evidence that the Dark Gods clan, you know, as a whole existed, though. So, yep, Bounty Hunter, you know, actually made this for us, though. And, you know, this was the early thing. That's me in the middle over there with the sword crouching down on the left side. Yep, we actually did this position. Oh, that failed. I'm sorry about that. Now, the Dark Gods played a very, very important role in my lifetime, and yep, and like all other clans, they say they would be the best clan in Halo Reach, but everybody knows that being the best is next to impossible. But I really do wish that the Dark Gods would come back. We did a lot of things together. It's just sad that they have to go all of a sudden, but let's keep going. Yeah, we decided to to do a mission together, you know, as a clan. Blah, blah, blah. Yep, our early exploits. Pretty much, you know, we were just dominating and everything. Oh yes, these guys. Who are they? ODST Fire. Oh, Jukebox Warrior. Ah yes, this one here. This airship was given to us by another clan. You know, it was a gift from another clan, though. Basically, they told me that you could have this now, or whatever, and pretty much that's just pretty much done. I didn't know what happened to that other clan. Oops, sorry about that. Yep, I was sitting in that throne room. Yep, on top, this and that. So yeah, we had a little meeting, you know, here and there. We talked about the future and stuff. And basically, that's me up there. You know, I was wearing a very, very distinct uniform back then. Yeah, I wasn't always the white elite, though. No racism intended. So, oh, yep. And if you look at the author, right? If you look at the author, I was actually with Sentry Strike of the United Union Federation when it happened. Yep, if you look closer, though, there he is. He's the actual one that took the screenshot, though. He was with me during the early times back then. So, yeah, I can safely say that we were connected in the Halo community in some way. So, yeah, we had a lot of fun times together. More drills, this and that. Basically, every other militarized clan that has done this. Now, I don't know why they're not showing up. Yep, that was my screenshot. Yeah. Let me see this one. Ooh. And after that, though, basically, you know, we were doing all that clan stuff. As you can see, though, we were all elites back then, you know. But the good thing about this one is that that we were all wearing different, distinct uniforms. No one is the same, and everyone is unique. And I kind of like that one. Yep, and there are some people that took some pictures back then. Yeah. What's this one? Oh, right. Now I remember this one. Basically, what happened in this period of time is that there was like a thing with the Red Army clan back then. Yeah. So basically, though, assassinations were a big part of Reach back then. And if you were to get assassinated, though, that's kind of like a humiliation thing to you. But yet, it wasn't until Assassination Tower that meaning kind of was just dismissed entirely. So yeah, the Red Army clan was just like a big no-no for me and everything. And then pretty much after that one, the Red Army clan was quickly disbanded, though, because because my assassination kind of set some of the members free, though, and they realized that my friendship was way more important than any clan. So in the end, though, they ran in and saved my life. For this one here, this was the beginning of the United Union Federation, hence the words UU and everything. And yes, I was there during that climb because I was a Spartan back then. Yep, there was pick day, you know, of our early bases, you know, that sort of thing. Yep, I was literally up there when I was speaking. And yep, that's the symbol. And of course, my buddy EM Killer was 6'6" there. Yep, the Soviet thing. Yeah, we had a lot of good pictures back then. Definitely. What's this one? Ooh, yeah. Lining up, that sort of thing. Yeah, basically some old boot camp stuff, this and that. Yep. And of course, Century Strike was there, you know, on that. Now, keep in mind that we never even got popular nor entered into the Halo kind of community list because we didn't pretty much do enough to earn that exploit. Let's go down and continue. What's this over here? So yeah, we're still in the same year, 2011, though. I mean, we did a lot back then in those years, and yeah, let's see, we're existing for we're for almost a year of existence, though, because that was 3 months before that. Oh yes, I remember this one. Oh, that was pretty epic. Yeah. So basically, though, I was part of the United Union Initiative, which is the elite division of the United Union Federation. Yep. We were pretty much owning a lot of people back then. Yep. UEC Outpost Bravo. Yep, we did a lot of exploits. Sentry Ghosts. And therefore, and this one here, I established a place where, where we can brand new LaCie and all that stuff. And this was until almost a year later that I actually came up with a new way to brand LaCie. Because back then, though, we didn't have a way to initiate people properly. We just figured, hey, let's change our emblems and be like, hey, you're in. That was the old way, though. I decided that I could be different there, and we could do all that, though. Then I started taking some pictures, back then, of all the early LaCie back then, though. And I could even recognize some of them. Early Crawdad 96, there was FNJ Razor. There was some of those LaCie that have, all that stuff. And of course, you could find some of these on the website and everything. Yes, that was the old courthouse. I lost that one. Yep. And basically, this is my new shrine, though, which is Shrine of the Falcon 400 AF, as you see today. Oh, and look at this one. Zach Torn was actually with me during that time, though, and back then, though, he was leading a clan called the Gold Berets. which is this one over here. So yeah, I've known Zektorn in the early days, back then, and basically we had a meeting at my place, and I don't know if it's downloaded. Oh, there it is, perfect. So yeah, that was actually the Fire Temple of Lassie where they took that photo, and yeah, the meeting was there at my place. And basically, though, I believe in the essence of family and everything, so yeah, the Gold Berets also played a very important part in this. And yeah. And this is where I met, you know, a guy named Sweaty T-Man 224 who became the Sanctum Lassie leader. And this was around the time where, you know, the Dark Gods were like disbanded or something. Yep, a lot of clan pics. Yep. Oh, hold up. 1 second, this is a little off topic here. Ooh, right in the nutsack. Yeah. Oh, God. Okay, but anyways. Ooh, what's this? Oh, yes, I remember this one. Yeah. Yep, Sweaty Team. Basically, that spans Sanctum Lassie and Post Lassie leader, because I allowed him to lead the Spartans and I lead the elite stuff. So basically, there was one leader of Lassie that started off. Then I joined Dark Gods, and then the Dark Gods disbanded, and then we became on our own. Then I hired Sweaty T-Man 224 to lead the Sanctum Lassie, which is the Spartans. So that is when I incorporated Spartans into the clan. So we became the Post and Sanctum Lassie, you know? Yep. We took some nice little pictures back then. You know, the uniforms are different. You know, they're all we believe in equality. And these are just places, you know, parts of the Grand Pulse City, so we'll skip over them. Oh, and in this one here, we allied with a clan called the STF. And I forgot what they stand for because it looks like they're mostly elite clans and, you know, with the same uniforms there. And we allied with a random mower on April 9th, 2012. Let's load another. I took that one because I thought it was pretty cool back then. And this is where we got our first set of trolls back then. So, yeah, we got our first set of trolls back then on April 14, 2012. Basically, the two trolls were TFS Agus and Beth Mousesmith. They're long gone by now, and basically these were the two female guards of the scene. Yes, I had women in the clan back then in the early days. And basically, yep. Okay, so this is where I finally got my revenge on the other two and everything, and somebody wrote "get wrecked" on it. Oh, sweet revenge. Yeah. Oh, and at this point though, Shadow 9005 also became a Lassie though, and thus he became the next. He was like the drill instructor of the Lassie. You know, they teach him and everything. And we were in this meeting called the RSA Rally and Meeting Hall, and I don't know what RSA stands for. It's been a long time. Yeah, we were just literally assassinating each other, and this is my early Roman Coliseum though. Yeah, there was like the flames on it and everything. And yeah, we were just doing a free-for-all back then. We loved gladiator fighting back then. Oh yes, I remember this one. Basically someone didn't pass their ceremony and they decided to try to betray us and everything, and well, that one failed. And yeah, that's pretty much that. Is it downloading? Yes, no, maybe? Come on, it can't be that hard. Yeah, you know what? I'll skip this one too. It's not coming up. Oh yes, the Astroseef. This is the exact moment that I've met Arcadian 306 though. You know, who became the first queen of Lassie. Yes, I actually had a queen back then, so And I seen her picture too and everything. And basically though, somebody misspelled, and we had and there was in our meeting hall back then. So that was the early meeting hall back then. And there was another clan during there, and basically they got into a fight, and yep, Sentry Vengeance was there too. Yep, and so are a lot of top players like Clace and everything. Yeah, it was a pretty big mess back then. Who else? Oh yes, I remember this one though. I was called in for a meeting one time and everything, and I had two of the escorts and everything, and they were under the tags, different impressions. What I found out later on after he assassinated me was the same people, TFS Agus and Beth Mousef, who went and do another gamer tag called Sweaty Glory Hole. And yes, that I know that sounds disgusting. I don't even want to hear about it. Let's just move on, okay? Yep, we had a mic meet. And yet, this is where I've met my early dose of elite racism back then. Because I didn't know that being an elite will get you into a lot of trouble like this. So yeah, this was, yeah. And this is where I got my fucking revenge. And I'm like, and I made sure that I got his name real nice up there. So if you're still out there though, those were some fucking good times, I swear. And this is where I had like another trader, NBD Legends, blah 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 blah, this and that. Oh, and yes, I remember this one. So yeah, basically NBD Legends was pretty much a shit talker, and he makes all these claims that he's like a big boy and shit, you know. And my queen back then, kind of like did the job for me and everything, and that was on the supposed year of 700 AF, which according to my lore is the death of Lassie and the victory of Sanctum. So yeah, the trader continues to do his things and everything, and I was actually in a 1v3 against him though. I was all by myself, and basically though it was like uncool. He mocked me and wear my uniform back then. For this one here, yeah, somebody was just perched in there. I don't know how he got up there. And for this one, we decided to take a family photo in their early training course. Family meant a lot back then, And Minecraft for days and everything, And we like to roleplay and everything, like see mom, dad, and son. Yeah, we actually like to roleplay a lot, though. It was pretty cool. And yeah, this was in the Blarg Sanctum, Yep, gladiators. Oh shit. Fido's Revenge. And this was... Oh snap, Twinkie! I forgot about this. And this is where my queen changed her name to Neverborn 387. And what's this here? Oh, right. Now I remember. Yeah, turns out that she was a real bitch, And all my people are just telling me that she's bad news, this and everything. Oh, and some of the sentries, who kind of betrayed the UUF, that were like, hey, let's kill this and that. And what is this over here? Yep, early kills, early deaths. And this is where I met a real goddamn cheater named Emperor Ascati or KSI Guardian or whatever the hell he calls himself these days. Basically though, he will manipulate maps to his advantage though, and whenever he gets owned, he quits out and then tries to lure you into another map again though. So in other words, he was very dishonorable, and basically he was the biggest coward that I know. He was also the leader of the Talon Guards who didn't quite face us, So basically though, for my early revenge, I decided to tear up his base as best I can, and I did a pretty good job. Put the emblem on there and be like, you know what? Since you want to play me that way, I can do that too. So yeah. Okay, yep, this is some of our early places where I built back then though. So yeah, I started getting really good at forging though. And this was the improved variation of the training arena, so I added rocks and everything before the new one that has happened. Yep, so basically we like to conduct weddings back then. And we actually did, you know, wed a few people back then. And this is where we face, you know, another militarized clan who was an Alpha Company HQ. And yeah, a lot of people did support that and everything. Oh, and this is where they finally gave me. Sorry about that. I'm speaking for so long. This is where, you know, they finally convinced me that Neverborn is a psychotic bitch. Loosely on the word psychotic though, because I don't know what she does now and then, and basically, you know, UFR, blah blah, Cheeto sucks. Yeah, so I got a bunch of early haters back then, so, and then I got branded heretics and all that stuff. Yes, I remember this, man. Stack of Plague. Yes, I remember this. Now these numbers over here, I was doing an animation project for college, and basically, at that time when I entered 2012 and from the fall year, this is where I had to do my animations. So I kind of number these so that way I could put some pictures together and do an animation project. So, yeah. And basically, though, this is like where, you know, Bounty Hunter was utilizing all of his art, though, make us look good, make the clan feel good. Oh, and some of the people that had, like Big New Yorker 2 and God Perps, those are some of the early we see back then, too. And yep, and this is where the nation started, you know, coming in and all that stuff. So in 2013, though, you know, early 2013, I decided to introduce different types of nations in the clan. Basically, you know, the establishment of our foundation, as you know, see and know today. For this one here, I built a place called Erba, which is a 200 AF, you know, and all that stuff. So I was giving a tour of Erba to a couple of my friends, and then all of a sudden, though, a group of Spartan 4s, right? Let me go back to this one. A group of Spartan 4s, right? You know, invaded this, you know, and led by Blonde T and all that stuff. And basically, you could see that, you know, and all that stuff. Now, for this one here, this is like a terrible time here. You know, they took me into a map though, you know, in my dying world and everything. I built this one on purpose because I wanted to show the people that if you do bad in the sea or if you dishonor it though, this is the future that you may do. And finally, back in 2013 though, I became... Oh, what's this? I'm not really too comfortable inviting this guy, you know, ever since he tried to, you know, get me and everything, but I'm gonna hold off on that later, so let's continue on, okay? I'm sorry, my apologies. Okay, so for this one, I built the greatest palace of all palaces, but that was before, you know, 343 decided to expand on it, so for the anniversary though, I'm going to have the party in that palace, but in a different variation. Yep, basically, it all wants to come true. And I was like doing some Invasion Slayer and everything, and some people say Skyjacking Inheritor. And yes, at that same year on May 2013, that's just when I became an Inheritor. So yeah, I quickly became one in just 3 years, and that's pretty amazing. Like I said, I had a lot of time in my hands, and I knew, and I completed all the challenges very quickly, so it was pretty much easy. And this is where, you know, KSI Guardian, the one I mentioned before, the coward, basically I just like did all this and everything. And of course, more assassinations of me, Oh, more assassinations of what I do. Yep. It was pretty fun back then. Now, this one, they have me post for a screenshot like this. You can also find this on the gallery section of our website. And this is when I completed my armor, you know? The armor that you see today. And this is where I finally met the guy Covenant Ultra, though. But back then, though, he was known as OMG One Hot Two Shot. Basically, who tried to convince two other Sangheili clans that I'm the evil one and this and that, blah, 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 blah. And then when they both sat down to me and talked to me civil, though, I realized that what this guy has told me may not be all be that true, because if Covenant Ultra, right, you know, tells me that this clan is bad and all that stuff, like, why they haven't attacked me yet, though? They just sat down, keep it civilized, and then as soon as I believed them over him, he began to go into a rage. And thus begins the War of Transgression, though. Oh, shit. I was there during that time. Holy crap. And yep, Bounty Hunter doing his work again, though. You know, I had a good artist back then, to be honest. Yeah. It was really cool, though. I really like this clan. I really like it so much. And I missed them. I really miss it a lot, though. And basically, he made this on my birthday. So I really appreciate this. Yeah. And yep. And yep, I got a lot of fans back then. You know, they took pictures of me. Yep, and everything. Sometimes I took some on my own. Yep, we had a partnership back then. And yep, and this is where Covenant Ultra decides, you know, we're just going to try again. And this one here, the author Sydney Wolf, that was his old girlfriend back then until their relationship got sour. Sorry about that. Basically, more Covenant Ultra stuff of him assassinating me, trying to get me and stuff. And this was in March 2014. Yeah. And I always commented, it doesn't matter, it's worthless. And yep. Oh, yes. I remember this one too. So, Boston Mike 617 was known as, what was his story again? He really doesn't like elites too much per se, though, and I forgot to tell you that because it's 2014, though, if you go on the website, though, Supreme Production News began on 2013. So from this point on, though, I decided to catalog, you know, everything that has happened over the years, and you could go to the screenshot here, you know, to be accurate and everything. Yep, I do the exact dates and all that stuff, and yeah. Now, we recently had a death, you know? And basically, it was like one of the most heartbreaking things that has ever happened. So, basically, you know, Ultra was like real chill and everything. You know, he cooled down for a while, though, because I thought he was done. Yeah, we actually thought, you know, Covenant Ultra was like done, you know, we thought he learned his lesson back time. And yeah, we had a nice little group hug back then. So yeah, the clan was like... And then all of a sudden, a month and a half later, right, he decides, let's go back to killing Cheeto after that. Yeah. Oh yes, this one here. So basically, though, we allied with a clan called Europa. We call it Europa. Basically, it's like one of those early clans, though. It was like my friend from high school. You know, he kind of made that for me, but I was still in college back then, so yeah. And basically, this was the signing of the agreement, that sort of thing. And of course, I take this one because, you know, it's true to this day. We don't count on the future, we make our own. And we treat each other as family, to be honest. Oh, and yeah, this is where it ends. So basically, though, that was when, you know, the Master Chief Collection like was pretty new to here, and then Reach, you know, started to die off a little bit at the OG status. So yeah, that's pretty much all of my pretty much all the history that I can gather back then. But for the rest of the history that you want to see, though, you can always look into my YouTube channels, you know, and to at least watch some of my videos that could portray the history of it. Or you could just look into the Supreme Production News and go all the way down and scroll down, you know, and read up on the history itself about our exploits, what happened, you know, that sort of thing. So, yeah, thank you guys for tuning into the LaCie's 10-year pre-anniversary special, though. And yeah, it was pretty fun to go back in time and to revisit everything that has happened to me thus far. So, in essence, though, you can say that I was actually there throughout the whole thing, though, and I got proof that I was there too, though. I was with the United Union Federation, I was with the Red Army guys, I was with Sanctum, you know, all those power players out there. But yeah, somehow we were never popular back then. But until then, this has been Cheeto2500. Thank you all so much for watching, though, and the LaCie anniversary is just 2 weeks away, though, so if you ever want to, you know, join up or whatever, you know, leave a like, comment, subscribe, you know the deal. It's free, it only takes a few seconds. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this. See you all later, and yeah, happy pre-10-year anniversary.